Hello everyone, Pallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. In today's video, we are going to be playing as Azmodan. Azmodan is one of those characters that can be crazy efficient at pushing lanes. He can do it globally as well. My build today is going to focus on the dunk. I believe it's pretty similar to the last Azmodan video that I did, but hopefully I have a better understanding of the character now, and I'm able to play a little bit better, because I think I lost the last game. I'm not too sure.
So it begins.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, well, we find ourselves on the Haunted Mines. Literally the worst map you could play Azmodan on. Or maybe the best, I'm not sure. As always, the best part of playing Azmodan is putting him on the flying carpet and watching him be so happy as he just puts his arms out in the air and he's like, ah, flying! That's what I imagine goes through his head all the time. We're going to be going down in the bottom lane. We are also going to be picking up Sieging Wrath. Sieging Wrath. Wait, actually, no, we're not. Excuse me. We're picking up Taste for Blood. I almost made a grave mistake. Enemies killed by your Globe of Annihilation impact permanently increase your damage on your Q by 2. And this stacks up like crazy to a maximum of 500 damage. Now, this used to not have a cap at all. But that was a little ridiculous, so they scaled it back just a little bit. Alright, our Q ability, Globe of Annihilation. This is our dunk, extremely long range. This far of a range. Oh, okay, I guess I just threw it that way. We're going to be able to deal some significant damage to enemy heroes throughout the course of the game, assuming we land that properly. Up in the top lane, we're going to give him our General of Hell, which is going to help him push. That is our trait. Here we go! Oh, fucked up. I actually think I got one. Fantastic. Did I? Boom! Stacking up that damage already. The General of Hell is our trait. It's going to go up in the top lane. It's going to buff the minion wave and help that lane push without having to have me in that lane. We are also going to be spawning in our Demon Warriors. This is our W ability. They're just going to simply help push down the lane. The goal is to always get a killing blow with the dunk, and as you can see there, I got 2, possibly 3. And throughout the course of this game, that is going to add up significantly, although it's not the easiest thing in the world to do, I'm not going to lie to you. Essentially, in the early game, you need to be buffing your... Wow, they actually went for top, huh? Oh, can I land the dunk, though? I have to go top to soak XP, because Tyrael died. Let's go ahead and use our little airplane wings that start heading up here. We want the dunk by the end of the game to at least be doing 1,000 damage, and we're going to be throwing that dunk out constantly. So it can be a really big deal. It can be really hard for the enemy team to deal with once we get it up to that level. Especially when you look at the enemy team and realize just how squishy they are. 1,000 damage on command is going to be a lot. It's going to be a fucking lot. Now the friendly team, Tyrael, Jaina, Tyrande, Sonya, and Azmodan, you could argue that we don't have a real healer and that we're at a disadvantage because of that. But Tyrande is going to amplify our damage that we deal by a significant amount, and we need to keep that in mind. The enemy team is actually severely split right now. While we're in the mines, I need to go ahead and buff the minion lane with the demon hell, whatever the fuck that guy's called. And we're just going to slowly push this enemy team back. There's nothing complicated about it. Land the dunk! Boom! Alright, we're going to take down the enemy Jaina. We're going to continue to spawn in our Demon Warriors as we traverse through the mines. We are pretty even on skulls. We're a little bit behind. Just a little bit, though. We are going to be picking up... Oh, don't leave me, everybody! I'm afraid I shouldn't be here. We are going to be picking up Bound Minion, which increases the damage and health of the, I believe, the minion we choose to summon in our trait on, which is pretty cool. Go ahead and dunk Gazlowe here. We are going to summon a demonic warrior down in the bottom lane. Use our death beam on the enemy Zeratul. That's not really going to do too much, but we can spawn in our warriors, which will soak up ammunition. Actually, they don't have ammunition, but our warriors will act as a... Oh, a great stun from Tyrande, unfortunately. I couldn't deal enough damage to finish off Zeratul in time. Alright, summon in the Demon Warrior. We do have the enemy Jaina engaging again. I'm just going to walk up and I'm going to auto-attack her a little bit. We're keeping an eye on our trait. Always ever diligent on the trait. We want this constantly pushing. So there we go. We're going to spawn that up in the top lane again. We're just going to keep throwing at our dunk. We're going to keep sending in demons to tank this for the friendly team. Unfortunately, the enemy team is starting to collapse in on us. So in a latch-stitched effort, we are going to channel the beam. We're going to have to move, however. We do need to finish this off. Our Sonya actually just piecing the fuck out, which definitely means that I'm going to die here, but not before I get the majority of the skulls. That's good, at least. Unfortunately, I was not able to summon in another demon, but you could see just with the buff of my trait, the top lane has pushed all the way into the tower. It's drained all of the ammunition, and we've basically been staying on top of our lane control while not being in a lane to control it, which is really, really powerful. All right, let's actually read this ability. So, using General of Hell on a lane minion increases that minion's damage by 100% and its health by 300% for 30 seconds. 30 seconds, of course, is the cooldown duration of the actual ability. So it's pretty damn strong. Gazlo is moving up here to take over our mercenary camp. We don't want that. We want the mercenary camp for ourselves, obviously. But by myself, I'm not going to be able to take it. We absolutely should be taking this. So I'm just going to Death Laser this down. Hopefully Tyrael doesn't do anything silly that gets him killed. Now, meanwhile, up in the top lane, we do have the enemy golem pushing pretty aggressively. Let's go ahead and summon in more things here. Dunk it. So what we want to do is, I guess, just summon this in up here. Death Laser this down. If you're playing on the Haunted Mines, what you want to do is take over this mercenary camp as the enemy team's golem is pushing. This will effectively make this a defensive mercenary camp, which will kill off their golem incredibly quickly, and I do mean incredibly quickly. We are going to be picking up Infernal Globe, which is going to increase the cast time, or improve the cast time, I guess I should say, on our Q, and also going to make it so our Q ability has a damage over time effect. Remember, we need to be getting stacks. I have not been too good at getting those stacks. Let's go ahead and buff a Mercenary. Fuck it. Boom. Now that Mercenary has increased health and is dealing more damage. I think it's only that Mercenary. I don't think it's the whole wave, even though this guy is buffing the whole wave. A great minion wave there is going to increase my stacks pretty heavily. I was going to say pretty hefty. That doesn't make any sense at all. Gazlo actually incredibly out of position. Let's go ahead and dunk him. That damage over time isn't going to be enough. With Jaina, it absolutely is. You can't just go wherever you want to, Gazlo. There are rules. There are systems in place. All right, we're just going to auto-attack the back line because we're setting the back line up for a dunk. 2, 3, 4. Is that enough? Let's see. One of them was. All right, we need to summon in another demonic warrior. I guess we'll do it here since these guys are actually attacking Zeratul. And unfortunately, I'm going to die, but we can deal some damage before that happens. Tyrande actually able to keep me alive at the last second with a very nice heal. That was good. That was good. So in this particular instance, I did summon in the demonic warrior right next to me because the minions were actually attacking Zeratul, and I thought that little bit of a boost was going to be what we needed. I think someone on our team picked up Promote. Or was that... No, that's the effect of me summoning. Okay. So they actually get a promote icon. That's cool. I did not know that. As these guys are pushing into the tower, we're going to promote the main warrior minion. Because remember, we're increasing that minion's health by 300%, which means he's going to be able to soak up a ton of tower ammunition. It's actually really, really cool. I like the diversity of this particular ability. All right, the mines are opening up. We should be going down in there. I don't think anyone on the friendly team actually followed me just yet, though. Uh-oh. Summon things. Summon things now. Buff their damage. Okay. Okay. We are going to be picking up Blackpool at level 10. Blackpool is going to increase our ability power by 75% as long as we're standing in the Blackpool. What does that mean? It means I can do this. Basically. Basically, that's what that means. We can buff our ability power and then dunk. This is going to increase our stacks by a significant amount on our Q. And it's also going to clear this objective very effectively. Again, looking at our trait is off cooldown, so we need to buff a lane. Always be forever diligent. We are just going to Death Laser the enemy Zeratul here. Now we're going to dunk his ass into the ground! Bah! Yes! Oh, I probably blew out some eardrums there. I'm sorry. Dude, there's nothing more satisfying in this game than a dunk on Azmodan. It used to be the long-range Stitches hooks, but now you just die whenever you hook someone. So now, it's the long-range Azmodan dunks. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and summon in all of our army here. Here we go. Our traits off cooldown, so what are we going to do? We're going to buff the minion wave up in the top, which is pushing very diligently right now. Here we go. We're gonna buff our death laser, and we're going to laser down this guy incredibly fast with the Hunter's Mark from Tyrande, making that guy take 25% more damage on top of our damage. It just means we're going to kill that guy crazy fucking quick. All right, once again, we need to ping the team to help us take this. We have to take that mercenary camp in order to bolster our defenses by our base. Unfortunately, oh, Jaina is on the way. Fantastic. Good. We're going to tank this with some demons. Our trait is off cooldown, so we need to buff something. We'll buff down here. All right, here we go. Dunking. Beautiful dunk. And there we go. We've taken these guys down. We summon them right away because this guy's already pushed, and now these mercenaries will walk right up and help us take this down. I just love his little arms out in the air. All right, we're just going to death laser it. Here we go. We're going to make sure it dies. Look at the size of those roots. That's crazy. All right. So this minion wave's pushing. So we're going to cancel the laser. We're going to buff ourselves and dunk right here. Not bad. We got a couple stacks there. We saved our base because of the minions, and now we're basically good to just push. All right, we're gonna buff the minion wave yet again. Interesting note is when you do buff a minion, that minion is healed to full health. Very interesting. We are going to be picking up, well, I suppose that March of Sin is still the best way to go. You can move while channeling your E ability, which is always good. Always good. Settling for one stack there. We do see Gazlo potentially going for this mercenary camp down here. We also see Rhaegar coming in. We're just going to reposition onto this side. Azmodan does have one of, if not the biggest hitbox in the whole game, so you do have to be pretty careful with your positioning. We're going to buff the bottom lane. We're going to buff our dunk. Get a stack or two there. Fantastic. And steal the mercenary camp from the enemy team. Gazlo, you can't do things by yourself when we're traveling as one group. No, you can't. All right, we're going to channel the Death Beam on top of Zeratul, which is going to take him out of this fight. Is anyone in dunk range? I don't believe they are. I don't believe that. Oh, Gazlo right here. He's right here. I could do some damage to him at the very least. He is going to get that mercenary camp, but we could just walk in with the channel on this and try to deal as much damage as possible. This is going to force him back, but of course it's also draining a lot of our mana in the process. We're just going to buff the minion lane as we get down here, and then we're going to B. This minion lane is going to soak up all of the ammunition from this tower, at least. May actually take one of those towers down. We go ahead and look at our stats. Our hero damage is on par with most of the team, sitting at just below 10,000. Our siege damage I thought would actually be a little bit higher, but we're at 47,000. And so far we only have one death. So for someone who doesn't main Azmodan, I feel like I'm doing a pretty decent job on Azmodan. What I'm going to do as we're coming in here is I'm just going to summon one of these demons to watch the door. He's just gonna watch the door. That's his job. We do need more people in the mines for sure. I don't know what's going on up there. All right. We do see Rhaegar and Nazebo looking like they want to enter. The dunk is going to be enough to take down that entire cluster of skull minions. That is really great for our stack. So far, we're sitting at a 56 bonus, which I believe means we're doing 112 extra damage, I think, maybe? Gazlo, caught out by himself again, is going to be taken down. Rhaegar, looking like he wanted to go through here and get some skulls, but our friendly team is going to interrupt that. I'm just going to dip back down here and get these skulls really quick. The dunk! No, oh shit. Delp, summon in a minion before I die. Oh god, I didn't do it. Here we go, there we did it! There's no way I can get out of that. If you're caught on Azmodan, if you are caught out on Azmodan, you die. You're forced to either sit there and try to trade into the enemy team, which it was a 2-on-1, so I didn't feel very confident that I could do it all. Or you die. So, I knew I was dead. So, before I died, I tried to summon in a warrior up top to nullify this push and keep the wave going in the way that we wanted to. Which I think was, you know, a decent trade-off, I suppose, maybe. Rhaegar actually very low on health, chasing the friendly team out of the mines with Jaina and Zeratul. Gazlo coming in after being resurrected. Gazlo did go for that robo Gazlo ultimate, which does mean he's going to be doing a lot more siege damage whenever he decides to actually do some siege damage. Never mind, he's done 57,000. That's not bad. That's not bad. We can assume that they are going for the golem right now. I do need this dunk, though. Boom! Okay, so we basically reached the point where we can buff ourselves with our ultimate and then completely kill a minion wave on command, which is exactly where you want to be. We are going to be picking up blood for blood at this level. I just have to dunk into them and hope for the best. That's 600 damage on our dunk right now. Unfortunately, I messed up the death laser just a little bit. We are going to use blood for blood on Zeratul, but once again, we're in a situation where I'm caught out and I'm probably just going to die. Zeratul could have done a little bit better job of body blocking there. Do we deal damage? I guess we do. I did do 650-something damage to all of them right before I died. That's all I could do. Good for us, though. Our Sonya had the presence of mind to get this mercenary camp right as the golem was respawning, so no, we're not going to save the fort. But these mercenary camps will help us take down this golem a lot more effectively than Sonya would be able to just by herself. That being said, the enemy team, even though they have a Gazlo, have not done the same thing, and you can see our golem is going to take a tier 2 defensive structure for the friendly team. He's definitely going to do that. Alright, so we're doing pretty well. I could definitely be playing better, don't get me wrong. I understand the concept of Azmodan. I do. I understand the concept of playing Azmodan. But actually playing Azmodan is a whole different story. So we're just going to buff our E here, laser this down. Beautiful. We definitely got the better end of that stick. Let's go ahead and buff this guy with the Demon Warrior. That's going to be pushing that top lane. We could assume they're getting middle mercenaries, so we could just dunk right here. Oh, well, they weren't. And as you can see, that dunk doing a ton of damage. Hopefully I didn't help them clear that out. Hopefully they're doing other things right now. 10 seconds on our trait. Always need to be using that trait off of cooldown. Here we go. Boom! Basically enough to kill the entire minion wave still. We need to stay on top of our stacks. If we let our stacks drop off too much, that will no longer be the case. Let's buff this minion wave. Now, important to note, we do have catapults now. Remember, our trait, when we use it, increases the damage dealt by 15% on whatever we summon it on. So, if we buff a catapult, that's a monumentous amount of siege damage on whatever that catapult is hitting. The enemy team possibly coming in to kill me. The enemy team definitely coming in to kill me. Yeah, I'm just gonna die, I guess. Fun fact, you cannot cast Blood for Blood while channeling your E ability. That kind of sucks. And it is worth mentioning that by picking up the bound minion, I did reduce my overall sustain because we can't go with Gluttony, which would allow us to heal for a bit with our E. We did forego that talent in favor of pushing. That is worth mentioning. My last few deaths have not felt very good. They've been deaths where the only reason I died is because I was out of position. It wasn't my team's fault. The enemy team didn't do anything like super good or anything. It was just, hey, I'm in the wrong spot at the wrong time and I'm going to die for it. Unfortunately, this big team wipe is also going to coincide with a mine opening, which is bad, which is very, very bad. So let's, well, I was going to buff top lane, but I don't think that's going to matter. So let's buff bottom lane. There we go. We need to mount up again and make our way down to the bottom mines, or at least I'm assuming that's where the friendly team is going. Zeratul potentially could gather this. I'm not sure if that golem is actually in range of our siege right now. I'm not too sure. The enemy team, however, is not gathering a lot of skulls. We're still at 8 versus 8 right now. They're taking their sweet time. We do see Zeratul here. We are going to channel this on top of him. Start making our way to the door. A great stun from Tyrande, followed up by an owl, is going to secure that death. And the dunk is going to take out Jaina Proudmoore and just throw her across the screen. Boom shakalaka. I'm assuming that's what I should say right now. That seemed appropriate. All right. Buff and dunk. And it's only getting stronger. 765 damage. I call the Q of Azmodan the Spirit Bomb. Once it hits critical capacity, once it's dealing more damage than you know what to do with, once it's dealing more than 1,000, that is when you have activated the Spirit Bomb. You draw on the strength of the whole planet. You ask them to lend you their strength. And then you reciprocate that energy back on top of the enemy team with the most monumentous nuke that they can imagine. Boom! 823. We are quickly approaching Spirit Bomb levels. Tyrael is already tanking the golem. We need to go help Tyrael. We are going to be picking up... Actually, I don't know at this range. Buff. Azmodan and other empowered allies' attacks and abilities slow movement speed. That could be good. I don't think it's going to do us too much good in this particular scenario, though. We're just going to death laser this guy down here. Move around, collect all the skulls. I don't think Storm Shield's a terrible idea, because we only have one support, and her name's Tyrande. But Bolt of the Storm is probably the safer way to go. Fuck it, I'm going to pick up the team utility. Oh, you can see, I've been so focused on the Spirit Bomb that I've completely slacked on the more important aspect of playing Azmodan, which is pushing the lane. Like I said, I understand the concept of Azmodan, but the implementation is a totally different story. It's very difficult. Very, very difficult. The friendly team once again taking over this mercenary camp. I don't think that's a bad idea. I'm here to help. I'm here to help! And we are going to take that right as the golem spawns. Maybe these golems will help push it. I'm not too sure. I don't know what they're pinging. Was Zeratul here? Zeratul's here! Hey, buddy. How you doing?
Yes! The laser!
Oh, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. All right, you know what time it is? It's time to buff the catapult and go in with the dunk. 833 damage. We have not quite hit Spirit Bomb levels, but what I do know is that this is a massive catapult. Look at it dealing its damage. It's majestic. All right, we're just going to walk in here. We're going to cast the Storm Shield just to say I did, and that is going to be a good game. So at the end, when all was said and done, we did 91,000 siege damage, 26,000 hero damage. We did healing with that ultimate at the end. And then our XP contribution was not bad at all. Everyone on the team did a good job of contributing to XP. So like I said, I understand the concept of playing Azmodan, but the muscle memory of every 30 seconds doing something in a lane that's meaningful is difficult for me to learn, especially while I'm doing all of this talking and trying to make sure that you guys get to see all the action and everything. Most of my deaths were because I was out of position, so we can learn from that. But here's the talents, because everyone always asks for it. Taste for Blood. Enemies killed by your Globe of Annihilation permanently increase the damage of your Q by 2, stacking up to 500. You can get this well above 1,000 damage when it's buffed with your ultimate, so it can be devastating in team fights. You typically, in an organized team, you want someone helping you stack this up in the early game. You want a Tassadar, you want a Vala, or even a Sonya, if we were a little bit better coordinated, could really help me stack up that Q, and it can make a big difference as the game presses on. We are using Bound Minion at level 4. This is to help us split push without having to be there to split push, and I think this was a great talent, and it really did help my team in a number of ways. You are missing out on the survivability and the synergy of your level 13 because your Death Laser is no longer healing you. You could just cast it while you're on the move. Then at level 7, we're just buffing our level 1 talent to make it deal some damage over time. The level 10 is strictly used to buff your abilities, so you make your dunk stronger so it's easier to get stacks. You make your Death Laser stronger so you could deal more damage to a target. And once again, March of Sin at level 13 allows you to move while death lasering. Blood for Blood is used for survivability, although it's worth mentioning that you have to use it before March of Sin, because you cannot use it before your death laser, because you cannot use it while you're channeling, and that's significant. And another thing that you can change at level 20, I did go for Storm Shield. That was because looking at our team, I knew Tyrande was going owl build because of how much damage her owls were doing. And I know that that does not do a lot of healing. We only had one healer, we only had one support, and I wanted to help make her job easier with Storm Shield. That being said, Blink is almost always the best option on Azmodan, just because your hitbox is so damn big, and you're so damn bulky, and you're so damn slow, and you don't have escapes. So Blink, Bolt of the Storm, usually better. But that's it for me today, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Blah, 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 blah. Hit the thing and the other thing. One of them looks like a thumb and it's pointed up. And the other one says subscribe if you haven't done that already. I have a headache. I'm going to go. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.